Hello to our awesome team and our sidelines. I'm here with you guys. This is Tracy. I think all of you know that by now since you're in the hangout with me. But thanks for hopping on this with me. I got some great feedback from the last time we did this, so we're going to continue to do these as consistently as we can. Hopefully, for the time being, every other Thursday. I think it's important to connect on, where you can see each other, and I'd love to be able to see you guys, but at least it's going, one way or another. So I've got my little iPad over here, and I'm taking some notes with your questions and a couple things I want to talk about, and then I want to address all of your questions. And that I think this is fun to get to pick each other's brains and what you guys are needing and looking for in your business and what would help you. So for me, one of the things that I have felt lately that needs to be addressed, it's been on my mind, is consistency. This is a business of consistency. If you're in, out, hot, cold, it is going to be noticeable, and it's going to hurt your business. And we've had some people that have stopped the business and come back, and that's a hurdle that they have to cross. But even if you're staying in, that you haven't technically left the business, but maybe if I went to your Facebook wall, I wouldn't know that. So the consistency has to be there, and the consistency in doing something every single day to grow your business. We're going to talk about social media here in just a little bit, because that's another thing that I'm really big on. And then consistency in opening your mouth to just people that you run into every day. Whoever you're out and about in your life, and those people that you see, you consistently need to be trying to grow your business and grow your circle of people. The bigger your circle, the more longevity you're going to have in your business. So every friend, every club, every group, everything, join a marketing group, make friends with people on Facebook, add people from your past on Facebook. Go just through church and through moms groups and clubs and marketing, all that kind of stuff. You need to really be growing your circle consistently. That's one of the ways that I have found success. I'm into this 3 years, and I'm long out of my warm market. So the sooner you get on that and growing your circles and letting people know what you do. I'm not saying you have to close a sale on the spot. I went to a brand new marketing group on this past weekend, and I didn't close any sales, but I met 8 new fabulous women, and some of them were really excited about the wraps. And I know that down the road, there's going to be customers there, and maybe even business partners. So that's how you do that, but you've got to be consistent. You can't post once every 2 weeks on Facebook and expect your social media world to know about your business. You can't, especially that's true on a business page as well. If you've started that, you can't dabble in Instagram to build your business. You really have to be consistent with that, and you have to be consistent with blitzing. And sometimes blitzing isn't always my strong suit, and it's one of the things I really need to focus on and work on. You consistently need to message a minimum of 3 people a day, and you don't even have to go straight to, hey, do you want to be a customer or distributor? Just say, hey, how are you? Love the picture of your kids. Love that thing that you just posted on Facebook, and what are you guys up to? Where do you live? All that kind of stuff. But consistently be building relationships, be building your business. And if you're not, then don't be surprised when your business is inconsistent as well. And that's really the point that I want to make with you. This is a long-term gig, and I don't want anybody to go into this thinking I'm out if I haven't made a fortune in 30 days or 60 days. Plan on going into this for the long haul. This is a career, and it's a career that pays extremely well if you are consistent with it. So really keep that in mind, that every day, no matter what, you've got to do something to grow your business. It doesn't have to be the same every day, but be consistent. So social media is one of the ways that I have really grown my business. And I get a lot of questions about it, so I was going to touch on it a little bit. And clearly, consistency goes along with social media, and we kind of already covered that. But later on, one of the questions in your Q&A was Instagram tips, and I'm going to do my best to give you some Instagram information as best I can, because Instagram is another social media tool that has been really successful for me. There's all kinds of social media platforms: Pinterest, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Google Circles. There's even more than that. But for me, it's hard to master all of them at the same time. So I would say pick 1 or 2 and really try to be consistent and master those and spend your time versus spreading yourself over all of the platforms. Become very, very good, become masters at least a couple of them. And like I said, for me, that's Facebook and Instagram. But I think you'll find that those can really help you, boom your business. And so let's talk about Facebook for a second. And this is another thing that's been on my mind heavily because I'm friends with a lot of you on Facebook, not all of you, but there's something that I need to address. And it really comes down to positivity on Facebook. When I see a distributor of mine or on my team post some negativity, pretty much the first thing I do is unfollow them. I don't want to see it on my own wall, so that tells you that nobody else wants to see it either. And I'm even friends with a lot of you guys, but here's what it boils down to. Facebook is obviously your personal profile. It's for socializing and staying in touch with people and building relationships. But if you're smart in this business, one of the very successful ways that you can grow your business is through Facebook. And you ask any top earner, and truly one of the ways they grew it was through Facebook. Nearly every one of them. And so you have to make a decision. Is it your Facebook wall? Is it your personal Facebook wall to do with whatever you want to do? It is. I can't tell you what to do with it. I can tell you what's worked for me, and I can tell you the decision that I made with it. It's not that we don't have bad days. Some of us have really bad days. I've had a lot going on in the last few months. I know some of you have, just tremendous stressors and lots of things that are not necessarily positive going on in your life. But it is a choice that you make whether or not you want to put that out on Facebook. If you are having a bad day, that's not what I would put on Facebook. I would not say FML, SMH. I would not say this day sucks. I would not use any profanity. I would not use any negativity. And that's not to say that I have not had some really bad days. Like I said, I've had a few things going on in my life that were very stressful. If you've been around me long enough, you know that my oldest son left on a mission about 9 weeks ago, and for 2 years. I don't get to see him for 2 years. And I can be straight with you and tell you in that moment, and for several days, but especially the day that he left, in that moment, I felt like my heart was going to fall out of another part of my body. I've never felt like that in my life. And the stress of it, and I gained 10 pounds and all these other things. But here's the difference. You didn't know that on Facebook. You knew that my son was leaving and was going off on this mission adventure, if you will, but you didn't know that I thought, I was going to pass out a couple times because my heart was going to just break, just with the sadness of watching him walk away in the airport. So don't think that everybody doesn't have bad days, but it becomes a decision what you want to put out on Facebook. Even in the moments where I was sad, his birthday was a few weeks ago, and I put a post up there. I was missing my kid that day, but I put a twist on it, and I found an old picture of him and a current picture of him, and just talk about how time flies, and that I loved him wherever he was, and even though he couldn't see that. So everything that you have in your life, good, better, or whatever, can have a twist put on it, or you just keep it off. Again, sometimes I think people put, I'm having a bad day, just so people will say, oh, what's up, babe? What can I do? And for me, I have made the decision, my why that I'm doing this business is so that my children never have to work for anyone else a day in their life. And that is more important to me than venting on Facebook and putting out my dirty laundry or my sad emotions or anything like that. So keep it positive on Facebook. Sometimes it's hard, don't get me wrong. I know that can be tough because that's sometimes what social media is for, to express yourself and put yourself out there. But positivity on Facebook, I can promise you, is going to be one of the best things that you can do, because social media, if used right with this business, is inviting people into your adventure. And if you're smart, you're going to show them the things that It Works is doing for you. You don't have to flash your paycheck all the time. It's great to say you got a raise, and it's great to say this Wrap Cash paid for this tank of gas, or to get my nails done, or that I wasn't worried about this bill this month. It's great to show yourself out with your Wrap family, or out blitzing, or doing things you know, it's fun. It's great to post about helping a mom with, you know, get rid of her stretch marks and feel good about herself, and the business opportunities that we have and the bonuses. That's the kind of stuff you want to do, and you don't want to do business posts all the time. You really want to mix it up to, you know, 1 to 2 to 3 lifestyle posts that's just you, that's got nothing to do with your business, and then a Facebook post or a business post like about the business or about the Ruby bonus or something like that. But don't just be all it works, because you'll get unfriended, you'll get unfollowed, and nobody really wants that. You want more friends so that you have more influence in your, you know, circle of influence. So consistency with that. Do it every single day. Keep it positive and mix it up. Keep your lifestyle on there and be interesting. Be kind. Be inspirational. Be fun. That's what people are looking for, and that's what's going to draw people to you. You're not a car salesman. You're not selling people. The moment you start selling people, you're going to turn them off. I don't put, you know, this product is this many dollars. I don't do that. I might show a fat fighter next to a really fattening meal, or so glad I have this, or, you know, ThermoFit helped me lose this weight, or, you know, I posted something with a can of energy one day, but I don't go and flash like an ad for it, basically. So pull people in and let them see you and your life and what the products and what the business is doing for you. And that's going to be the most effective way to use social media. So please, I beg you, leave your negativity off of Facebook. Any type of thing that can be, that's not positive. I know that it's hard. I do. But just leave it off of Facebook and you'll be glad you did. Okay, so get to see your questions. Let's see, one of the first ones is why they should choose us. Well, I'm glad that's first, because it really kind of plays into what I just said, and social media is an aspect of that. You're responsible for why they choose you. If you are a Debbie Downer, or you're always sad, or always mad, or always complaining, or, you know, something like that, no one's going to choose you. No one's drawn to that. We have enough stress in our life. People are drawn to the happiness and the joy and the successes, and people that are happy are, you know, that's who you gravitate towards. So think about it. Who would you want to be around? I mean, if you saw 2 distributors side by side, and one of them was, you know, frowny pants and wasn't happy, and the other one was so excited she couldn't see straight, that's how they make, you know, they choose you. Now, when I don't know if it's specifically about, oh, you know what, I think I do know what, but sometimes it comes down to like another distributor or you, and the choice can be there. You know, that can be a tough one. I really think in One Team, One Mission, we send people back to who originally talked to them about their products or the business. I mean, because that's what you would want someone to do to you. Ultimately, it is someone's decision who they sign up with. So that part's on you, and you being positive and not being pushy and trying to sell them something, just being there and supporting and providing, you know, the information and support and things like that for them. So just be yourself, be a good version of yourself, and people will be drawn to that. And I hope that answers your question. Why choose us? Why choose me? Why choose Erica? That was Erica's question. Because Erica's happy, and Erica is consistent with her business, and she doesn't look like a flake. She doesn't look like she's just in it as a you know, in a scam or in something that she's just going to putter out in. So she's being consistent, and that's why someone's going to choose you, because you are in this for the long haul. There are people choosing me now because I've been in it for 3 years. So there's another aspect of it. Your longevity and consistency is very often why they're going to pick you. Being out of your comfort zone. You know, nothing good ever comes out of your comfort zone. I don't want you to think you constantly have to live in this business in a state of fear and uncomfortable, and it's not like that, because most of parts of this business become more second nature to you. Prior to this, I was pretty much a homebody. I stayed home all the time with my business and was always in front of a computer, didn't really talk to people a lot. I was a hermit crab, and I definitely didn't do Google Hangouts. I didn't get in front of meetings that we have here in Omaha and talk in front of 100 people. And I didn't get on team phone calls. Oops, sorry. I didn't do any of that. But you kind of start to stretch yourself a little bit. Nothing good happens when you're just comfortable all the time. You can't have the joy. You can't have the highs. You can't have the great experiences when you do that. So blitzing is still to this day uncomfortable for me. And I think it's uncomfortable for most people. There are some people that it's fine, but I don't know who they are. And you have to picture it in a few ways. What's the worst thing that could happen? Somebody could be rude to you. That's no fun, but oh well. I mean, it happens sometimes. And you just move on. That person's irrelevant and they suck and they don't really matter in your business. So move on, and the next person could be a rock star. Also, when you're not handing out a card or blitz card or just talking to people in general, you're afraid to talk to them that you're in network marketing, all that, you're really deciding for them that this isn't for them. And you're kind of taking the decision out of their hands whether they want to try a wrap or if they want to try their hand at this business. So you need to let them decide, and you got to get out of your comfort zone a little bit to do that. And there's all kinds of things in this business that can be out of our comfort zone, but I can tell you, I'm here to tell you, that is where the good stuff happens. When you stretch yourself, nothing feels better than doing something that scared you. And you did it and you feel accomplished, and then it gets a little easier and a little easier. So definitely, take those baby steps, get out of your comfort zone, and do what you need to do, and grow and stretch yourself a little bit. Don't be uncomfortable and all the time. That's not any fun. And you'd run away from this business if it was always uncomfortable. But it's okay to, what is it they say? It takes 20 seconds of insane courage to do something pretty magical. So give it a shot. Try something every day that scares you a little bit. That would be my suggestion to you. So anyway, yes, Cindy's texting me. They're irrelevant. They suck. Yes, they do when they're rude to you. So okay, party tips. So that was a couple questions on here. We have a lot of newbies on here. The first tip is have a party. Have a launch party. Have a few people over to your house, and don't even call it a party. Call it a wrap night. Set up an event on Facebook. That's a great way to do it, but it's a far better thing to do to call people, shoot them a message, text them, say, hey, I'd love to, just started this business. I'd love to have you in my party, and let them know that their attendance matters to you, and ask, say, I've got a wrap with your name on it. Can I reserve it for you? And so that kind of gives that extra element of people that'll, commitment to show up. Expect people, you might have 15 people RSVP and 5 show up, and that's okay. There is nothing wrong with a small party. I love the small parties. Big parties are fine. They make a lot of money, but they can also get a little hectic. And I will honestly tell you that I don't know if you can call yourself a true distributor unless you've had a party where nobody showed up, not one person. You had your house all prettied up, which you don't really need to do, and you had your water set out and all your little products set out nice and neat, your before and afters, and nobody showed. And you're just sitting there twiddling your thumbs. And you know what? That's okay too, because you got practice for a party. And then you follow up with the people that RSVP'd and said they were coming, and then set an individual wrap appointment with them. I prefer those anyway. So definitely have a launch party within your first 10 to 14 days. I really, really stress that. Oftentimes when people are struggling, it's one of the first things I ask them if they had a launch party, and if they're struggling, most people said no. So it really is a telltale sign of people that are committed to their business. And there's a lot of YouTube parties out there that you can go out there and watch. There is no excuse not to have a few people over to your house to share this crazy wrap with them. I had a couple launch parties. I did it by myself. I did not live by my sponsor, and I was terrified, but I did it. In between those 2 parties, I signed like 10 loyals. So that's, you gotta stretch yourself. Speaking of stretching yourself and out of your zone, that was way out of my comfort zone. I had never done anything like that before, ever. But I would also tell you to keep it simple. If you're having it in your house or you're having it at someone else's house, keep it super simple. That's the KISS method, like Pam Sauter says. Serve water. You don't even have to serve snacks, and tell your host that if it's not your party. Here's how my party goes. We wrap people. We collect $25. We talk just a little bit about the wrap. Don't go too deep into it, but talk to them about the wrap and maybe a couple things after they take it off, what they need to do. And then go through a few of the products, the defining gel, some of our best sellers. Sample the greens, do the Fat Fighter demo if you have the Fat Fighters, and then talk about any of the other products that you have on hand or in the catalog that you want to talk about. Don't cover all the products. You are not a catalog. They can look through and see that and ask you questions. So make sure you're familiar with the different products that we have. And then go into the loyal customer program and say, by that time when you've gone through these products, they're wondering, how can I get them? So tell them, the loyal customer program, and explain the benefits of it. And then also take 5 minutes. And even if someone hasn't asked about the business, I always kind of say, you know, every time we get together, I know somebody asks me about the business. If you've had them in a wrap room, say, I know some of you are interested in the business side, so if you give me 5 minutes, I'll just talk to you about that, and then we'll, you know, you can check people's results if you like. So talk to you about the business. Honestly, just what I'm doing here is I'm following the party pad. Whether you have the party pad up with you that came in your kit and that you're flipping through, or people, you know, you have enough party pads that you've ordered for people to have in their hands, or you know, or you're just memorizing it. Basically follow the party pad. Go through the wrap, go through the products, tell them how much it costs as a loyal customer, describe the business, and that's it. And then in the end, you ask them, you know, tell them, okay, we're all done. The only question is, you need to decide if you want to be a loyal customer or distributor. And that really kind of takes out the, oh, I'm going to wait, or, you know, anything like that. So, or not order or whatever. People just know that that's what they want to do. And hopefully you've explained the products well enough that several of them have piqued their interest and they see the value in being a loyal customer. So keep it super simple. I try to keep them to an hour, hour and a half tops. Nobody has 3 hours to come to a wrap party. And again, expect for people to RSVP and then not come. But definitely check in with people beforehand. Don't just create a Facebook event and then expect full success and great attendance off of that. And, you know, just do the best you can. All of our order forms and distributor forms, that can all be printed out of our team page, and everything that you need. If you have catalogs, great. If you don't, you know, consider ordering some when you have some extra money, like from your first check or whatnot. If you don't have a t-shirt, that's okay. Don't have to. You can just wear like a black shirt or a cute lime green shirt, or just look nice. That's all. You don't even have to do anything. And honestly, the more casual, the better. Sit down on a couch with them and sit in a circle and keep it very informal. That's much more effective than like you're up presenting, and you're much more at ease, and you're not going to be as nervous if you're doing that. So hopefully that you know, gives you some party tips, and just keep it simple. But if you have any questions, go out on YouTube. There's so many parties out there to watch and see how you want to do it. But don't be nervous. Just do your thing, and know that, you know, you can't screw it up. You really can't. So pushing potentials to the yes. This is always a tough one. You know, I've changed my tune a little bit over this with the years. If I have to beg someone to come into my business, it's not a good sign. You know, I used to just sign anybody to fill a box on my promoting chart, and now I'm much choosier about who I bring into my business. There's nothing wrong with, you know, sticking with someone and following with someone to help them, you know, see that they can do it and believe in themselves, and tell them that you believe in them, that you really want to work with them. But if you're really begging and pleading and pushing to get them in the business, you're going to be begging and pleading and pushing them to work. And in the end, it doesn't serve any purpose for you or them to have brought them into your business. They possibly should have been a loyal customer, and if you brought them in as a distributor, you probably ruined that chance too. So, you know, be cautious about doing that, but there are ways that you can definitely, you know, be more effective in signing distributors. And one is be excited. Be excited and are willing to open your mouth about the opportunity. This Ruby bonus that's ending tomorrow, the $1,000 double bonus, is a great way to go close some of those loyals, people that are on the fence, and follow up and just say, hey, you know, I really just think you'd be great. I have a few people that I really, really want to work with, and I tell them, you're on my hit list. Like, I think you'd be great at this. Be confident. Be confident in the opportunity. If you're mousy about it and you're unsure about it and you don't totally know what you're talking about, that's not a good way to share this business and to bring people into it. But believe in it. Be confident in network marketing and that this opportunity works, because it does. If you work this right and you complete those steps, it works. So the best, you know, from our top earner, Major Jones, said, when you go to meet with the potential, have a party pad and the steps to success. You don't need anything else but that and your excitement. And if that doesn't do it, then they're probably not meant for your business. So be yourself, be confident, show them the opportunity through the party pad, show them the steps to success and how simple this business is and that anybody can do it. And there's no reason they can't, you know, choose one of those income numbers that would make a difference in their life. And they can do it. Everybody can do it. And if that doesn't do it, then just follow up with them. One of the things I do is I ask, on a scale of 1 to 10, when I've got some interest, on a scale of 1 to 10, you know, with a 1 being no way and a 10 being let's sign it right now, where are you? So, you know, if there's anything above a 5 or 6, then you need to, that's great. There's good interest, and you need to set another meeting. They're not quite there yet. If they're a 8, 9, 10, or even anywhere along that, my next question to them is, what can I do to help you get to a 10? And I'm not necessarily today, but what can I help get to a 10? And so then you know kind of what's holding them back. If there's a fear, if there's an objection or something, and then you can address those. But always make sure that you set the next contact with them. Say, okay, I'm going to follow up with you. Is it okay if I follow up with you on such and such day? Maybe it's the next day or the weekend or next week or whatever. But let them say, yeah, follow up with me. And they've kind of set that appointment. So that's how I close a deal. When somebody's not near me, there is a Party Pet video that I use with Denise Walsh. It's 11 minutes long, and that's what I send them, and then I follow up with them and ask them what they liked about it. Do they think they're a good fit for the business? I ask them the 1 to 10 question, and then we take it from there. So it's really not a lot different, but I will tell you this. I get on the phone with people. Any chance I can, I get on the phone with people. Facebook is safer. It feels more comfortable when you're texting and you're just behind your electronics, but the true close and the true excitement and passion is conveyed in a phone call. So get on the phone with people, and even if you don't sign them on the spot, you've planted that seed. They've heard your passion and excitement. So anyway, that's how I close distributors. How to follow up without nagging, and this is another great way to lead into that. I kind of follow the 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months rule. You don't want to nag somebody. You know, sometimes people just maybe are not interested or whatever. I'm not saying, sometimes no's often become yeses, but you don't want to be pushy and naggy along the way. So in a couple days, if someone told you they were going to order or whatever and interested, but you haven't heard back in a couple days, get it back and say, hey, I just checking back in and seeing it, following up, touching base with you. You know, I'm putting some orders in tonight. You want me to put yours in? It takes 5 minutes. Or, you know, just kind of keep doing that process. And then if you still don't hear from them, a couple weeks later, and then maybe a couple months down the road, and then just kind of leave it at that. Maybe just have your list of people you want to follow up with sometime down the road. But that's how I sort of do it. I definitely write them into my potentials list of my hundreds of like customers or distributors or whatever. And then it never hurts to follow up down the road. But 2 days, 2 months, 2 years, and that's how I say it. Say, you know, hey, I know things are crazy, just touching base with you again, and just keep it real casual and not like, are you ready to, you know, sign up yet? I very much steer clear of that kind of verbiage, and just keep it really lighthearted, and say, you know, I even put it on yourself. Say, oh my gosh, I totally forgot to get back with you that day, and then, you know, put it on yourself and not on them. That kind of eases maybe them being uncomfortable for not following up with you. So. The question about a pyramid scheme. You know, when someone associates network marketing with a pyramid scheme, that just boils down to a misunderstanding of what network marketing is. Back in the 80s, there were some true pyramid schemes going on, and a lot of people lost a lot of money. And that's the kind of mythology that has followed network marketing. So understand that you're going to get skeptics, not only about the product, but about the business as well. So just be prepared to answer it. You don't have to talk down to anybody. You don't have to be rude or offended. Just understand where they're coming from, because again, that's what a lot of society thinks. Is this one of those get rich quick things? My response to that is, you know, no offense taken, I certainly hope so, because getting rich slow wasn't working for me. You know, just something quirky like that, and fun and lighthearted, and not rude or offensive, but just you come across as confident. And you basically have to tell people, well, pyramid schemes are illegal. This is, you know, set up like a Mary Kay or a Sensi, and those are long time established companies. So people, then that begins to make more sense to them. Pyramid schemes are illegal. They don't exist anymore. But understand that some people are going to say that. And so if you address it, you're confident in your business and know that you're not involved in a pyramid scheme, then that's going to translate to people that you understand what it is you're doing. So anyway, but expect to hear that a lot, that people think network marketing is a pyramid scheme. Again, it's just ignorance on their part, but you need to address it and ease their concerns about it so that you can then take your conversation to the next level. A couple more things before we close out here tonight. Instagram tips. Instagram, it takes work. I am not going to lie to you, but it has been very, very effective for me. If you're a part of the social media training through the 100-Day Adventure through our Facebook, it costs $8 a month. Plus, can't remember what the initial cost is. That's a great source of training. But if not, there's a lot of YouTube videos out there specifically from It Works people There's a great one from a lady, young girl named Jocelyn Yates out of Utah, who teaches her church. She has built herself to presidential and her husband to triple solely on Instagram. And, it's all about having your adventure, much the same as Facebook. But Instagram is a different platform. Instagram moves a lot faster, and it is so hard to go back, so much harder to go back and find a post on Facebook or Instagram than it is on Facebook. So, because you have to know somebody's exact username, and once it's in the Facebook feed, so it kind of shows that you can actually post a little bit more frequently on Instagram. But what you want to do, you don't want to be in it works. Again, you got to put your lifestyle out there. Let's say four lifestyle posts, one it works post. And so that's how you kind of want to do that. Hashtags are very important. You want to make sure that your profile is set to public. And hashtags are important. And don't use hashtags that everybody else is using, like rap and it works and all of those things. Be creative in your hashtags. I always hashtag where I live. So when someone tags Omaha, I'm going to come up. I tag things that are interesting about you. I tag that I'm a runner. I tag that I blog. I tag that I'm a mom, that I'm a twin, that I'm a sister, that I'm LDS faith. I tag all of those things, and then when someone searches the hashtag twins, I'm going to pop up. Even though my post may not necessarily be about twins, you can do that. And so I can't remember the specific number of hashtags that you can use, but you can use quite a few. So definitely, put some text out there, and the emoticon or the emojis or whatever those are called, use those because that draws attention to your text. Definitely hashtag 4 lifestyle to 1 it works post. And then about building a following. You want to follow people that are similar to you. You don't want to follow a bunch of teenagers. You don't want to follow a bunch of people from other network marketing companies. You don't want to follow people that are just doing follow for follow. You're looking for people like yourself, females, people interested in fitness, people interested in beauty, and find some sites like that a bunch of women would be following, and then you go to their followers and you follow. Now Instagram will cut you off at about 50 or 60, and then you have to wait a few minutes, and then you can do it again. Here's my goal for the day. I try to follow 300 people a day, but you also want to keep the number of followers and the number of people you're following within range. If you get them too far apart, Instagram will kind of flag your account and you won't be able to like anything or anything like that. So if that happens to you, you need to go and unfollow people. There is an app called, I think it's called InstaFollow or Followers, and you need to make sure that you download that app as well and pay for the $99 or the $1.99 upgrade, and then you can see who is not following you back after a few days, and you need to go and follow them so that you have room to follow more people. And people that unfollowed you need to unfollow them as well. So that's called, let me see if I can look at it real quick, Followers, or InstaFollow or Followers. Look that up in the App Store. So you need to have that as well if you're going to utilize Instagram. And you cannot post your It Works link on either Facebook or Instagram. If you have your It Works site on your Instagram profile, you won't be able to post or like anything. Then that's because Instagram is owned by Facebook, and Facebook has really strict rules now about business links and specifically about It Works, because there's been a lot of people spam, not handle social media the right way. So we're all kind of penalized for that. So if you want to put your links on social media sites, you need to do something. You need to go to GoDaddy.com and get a domain name for about $13 a year. They were on sale for $9.99 for the year, a full year subscription. And what it does is it turns your HTTP, that URL address we all get when we sign up, to a www address. And there's a little trick you need to do there called forward with masking. I always call customer service. I really stress people call GoDaddy customer service when they're doing that, so that forward with masking step is an essential step to getting a domain name that can then be used on Facebook. So I can post my link, my www link, on Facebook and Instagram because of the way that I did that with GoDaddy. So I highly suggest that if you're going to really utilize social media. If you're not going to do that, put your website on a picture, on a graphic, and then that way you can share that with people. Not a live link, but at least points them in the right direction. So but consistency. You have got to be consistent on Instagram, especially, and Facebook. You can't dabble in that stuff. I have had tremendous luck with both of these social platforms and in building my business and growing my circle and building outside, but it takes time. So don't expect it to happen overnight, but I promise you it will happen. If you have any specific questions, you can ask or put them out on the page. But again, YouTube is a huge source of information for that. Last but not least, tax questions, a few tax questions. For those of you who don't know, in my former life, before A-Works, I was a CPA for 16 years. And so I do understand taxes and what you can and can't deduct. That being said, I am retired and I'm not an accountant anymore, and I don't even do my own taxes. So don't ask me a lot of questions. I'll give you the basics as we're going through the year here. I can't tell you this time of year in April how glad I am that I'm not an accountant. I'm reminded and how grateful I am for this opportunity. I'm not a CPA anymore. So anyway, when it comes to what you're tracking for your expenses, I'm just going to give you some basics. You're going to get a 1099 from ItWorks to claim the income. You should claim your cash sales of your inventory because you're writing off the product that you bought, the cost of the product that you bought to sell. You shouldn't really be writing off personal use of products. Some people, say that you should write off all of your auto ship. The technical rule, if you're asking me what the rule is that you can write off your auto ship minus things that you use for personal use. So how you want to track that is up to you. Your website is deductible. Within reason, you can use uniforms, your ItWorks gear, any supplies you use for shows, any product that you sell, mileage to a party or to any ItWorks function or meeting, meals if you meet and discuss with a business partner or whatever business purpose and describe or have a business purpose to that meeting and things like that. So when it starts to get into like home office deduction and things like that, you really need to consult a tax account or an accountant or bookkeeper, whoever does your tax preparation, and get the specifics on that, because home office deductions can be a red flag. If they're legit, deduct them. But I can tell you that a lot of people abuse that particular deduction, and because it's a generous deduction, and it's a red flag. So I have been audited by the IRS. It is not fun. And you don't want to go through that. So keep your receipts, take notes on your receipts, and the more organized you are throughout the year, the happier you're going to be. Come tax time, the easier it is going to be collect your information and not be so tedious. So keep track, keep your stuff in a file, even organize it further from there into meals or office supplies or products or things like that. Keep your packing slips from your auto shipments if you can. That's a good idea. I definitely needed those when I was audited by the IRS. And things like that. So ItWorks is not what got me audited, but don't get me wrong. But you can do some stupid things to get yourself audited. So those are the basics. Mileage, products, supplies, all those types of things, and they're legitimate tax deductions. And then you're going to pay tax on the profit. So that's my summary of how to what to keep track of on your taxes. So. Let me see. I don't see any more questions. So, honestly, I think if we consistently do these trainings every couple of weeks, we're going to be able to keep them short. 30 to 40 minutes is really my goal. And these are recorded so that you can go back and see them if you want to. But let me finish with we're finishing up April here. And let me tell you, we've got a whole another day in this business. Go follow up with everybody that has expressed interest in the business and say, hey, really love to see you get a shot at that bonus. Let's get you started. Or I'd really love to work with you. I don't want to see you miss out on this bonus. Things like that, and go and follow up and let them know that you're interested in working with them and you think they'd be great. If you want to follow up with those loyals to go get a little bit more volume in and boost your check. Steps of success. You need to complete those steps of success if at all possible. The month is not over. Don't give up on April yet. I see too many people give up on the month of April before it's done. And they're like, oh, May will be better. Well, not if you don't complete the steps and work all the way, through the month. So I've seen amazing things happen. That being said, if you're not going to promote this month, I'm not going to promote this month, but there's a lot of people going to promote this month. Don't compare yourself to other people. Just keep working. Just keep swimming. Do the steps of success. Teach your team to plug in to use the tools available to them, get them to these trainings and the calls, and have them plug into our team page, our main team page. And there's a lot of other side pages going on. Ours is going to be the biggest source of help and resources for them. So we don't want to get too distracted by starting a bunch of team pages. It's just not a good idea. So all of these tools, calls, meetings, files that are on the Facebook page are there for your support. But in the end, this is your business. You're responsible for growing it. Nobody can promote for you. You have to do this. You have to be willing to learn, be willing to get out of that zone, stay motivated, do some personal development. I'm a big fan of that. Read those books. I think GoPro by Eric Worre, How to Think Like a Billionaire. That's one of my favorites. The 4-Day Work Week, just a 4-hour workday. Just all kinds of books that are available out there to you. So we will see you. Finish hard, finish strong here in April, and we will see you on the team call next week where we'll have some more people in with us. Thank you guys for participating in the Distributor of the Day. I'm really enjoying that with you. And if you want to be a Distributor of the Day, show us some leadership. Show us what you got. Show us, be a good team member. You don't have to be, it has nothing to do with rank. It has to do with your leadership and your activity and your heart and how much you're trying and what you're doing to grow your business. So we're going to, highlight a bunch of different people, but that's kind of how we're choosing the different ones, and people that can offer some tips to you, whether new or veteran, or we're going to have it all. So you guys have a good night, and we'll talk soon.